position, huh?
For sure, bro.
Greetings, hello, and welcome. Wassalamu alaikum to the 11th episode of the podcast. It's number 11. Jawad, our dear friend, is here today.
Introduce yourself, Jawad.
So, like Hussein said, my name is Jawad. I'm from Jordan, Palestinian. I was born here in Dubai, and I met these two lovely gentlemen back in 2015 while playing basketball. Yeah, ever since then, they've been my two closest best friends, and yeah, whenever I need anything from them or whenever we hang out or anything,
Likewise, bro. Likewise. But
100%.
it's always been an honor to
and we
hang
feel the
with these
same,
two
Habibi.
people.
We feel the same.
100%. No, I appreciate that.
Now, you might be wondering, Hussein, why is your tea almost finished? But let me tell you why. We have broken a record for a whopping 6 takes of the podcast. We stopped and restarted 5 times. We're not going to get into why each of these times were stopped.
Each of them was a different reason.
Tempers might flare and people might get deported. So we will just move on into the podcast. We're back on another episode. I'm finally here. I had to miss the last episode. Unfortunately, it was a terrible loss because the people on the last episode were people I was really excited to get on to and speak with.
They were excited to talk to you as well, honestly.
And yeah, and it was just such a shame that COVID took me down, but COVID will not keep me down. So we're back again and we're filming and we are going to get into some good and juicy things that actually, while they are quite important in Jawad's life, relate to me as well. So yeah, let's get straight. Oh, actually, no. Before we get straight into anything, I would like to announce our official partners. Did we announce them last episode?
2 episodes now we've talked to the sponsor.
Official sponsors, My Meal Diary. If you care about your health and living and being healthy and eating healthy and just staying alive, you should be interested in My Meal Diary because it is the only way in life ever at all to live healthy.
Do you want to give a serious advertisement?
If you don't have My Meal Diary, you're asking for death. Like, that's just how it is. Because My Meal Diary is so complex in its design and technology and its ways.
It's actually the opposite of what it is. It's not complex. It's supposed to be simple. It's
complex
a simple
in its design, but in its application, it's quite simple. If you let me continue what I'm trying to say, thank you. It's very complex in its design and technology and has been worked by for hundreds and tens of hours in order to create the perfect application for you to count your calories, track your goals. There's so many goals you can track that are just like not on other applications like your salt, your blood, your like all these different types of goals.
You can track your blood?
I think it does track your blood. Actually, no, it doesn't track your blood. I'm talking shit, but it doesn't track your blood yet. But maybe
guys,
soon.
send the update.
Maybe soon in the update. But we have / probably have at this point released a reel on My Meal Diary and probably another one on how to download it and what it is and just everything about it. But I truly recommend for anybody looking into, like, all seriousness now, anybody looking into calorie tracking or just like health goals in general, it's genuinely just
a nice entry
great
point.
app to use.
It's a nice entry point because it's a very simple design. It's easy to use. It's easy to like you log in immediately. The search bar is there. You can take a picture of your food. You can scan the barcode, or you can search for your food manually. It gives you like generic results. Like, for example, if you want to buy, log orange juice, you can log a generic orange juice, or you can look for the brand that you have based on a barcode, based on a brand name, whatever, and you can go for it that way. It's very, very nice. It's a very good app. The price point is a lot cheaper than a lot of the competitive apps in that field, but we'll make it even cheaper for you if you use the promo code through Deep Waters, scan the QR code on the screen, or use the code in the description through Deep Waters to open the app. You can get 50% off of any type of subscription, whether it's yearly or monthly or every 3 months, I believe. So if you do those, you'll get the 50% off of that, and the price, like, for that price, what you're getting, it's very hard to compete with that because we're giving you a crazy application for a slashed 50% off price. So make sure you go take advantage. Promo code through Deep Waters or scan the QR code that's been on the screen.
Thank you for the extremely informative information And the bird. We have a bird, by the way. Only one person in this family likes this bird. I'll say that from the bottom. I hate this bird. I don't hate anyone or anything, but I hate this bird.
Well,
He
wait.
keeps shouting.
He doesn't let me sleep.
By the way, that bird shit on me twice. By the
That
way.
bird only
That bird
shits on
me
people.
twice.
The bird hates you too.
Get out of our podcast before I slap you.
Slap me, yalla. Much go, yalla.
All he does, every single time I picked him up, he shat on my hand or on my shirt. But yeah.
Once.
That bird must have a streak of shitting on people, by the way.
Wallah. But yeah, Jawad, first and foremost, I wanted to tell the world, actually I want you to tell the world about your sporting accomplishments and your sporting interests as well. So please, the stage is yours, my friend.
Alright, so I started swimming when I unfortunately got my ACL injury. That was when I was playing football. Unfortunately, my ACL ruptured, and then I had to go to the hospital immediately. I think that was when I was like 13 or 14 years old. The doctor told me you can either do surgery or you can do physiotherapy. So I chose the physiotherapy route. I recovered my ACL injury, but the problem was I wasn't like at my... it wasn't a full recovery. I was like 90% there, not 100%. So what the doctor recommended is that I can switch to swimming. So when I switched to swimming, I noticed I was becoming better at swimming, and I started to like it. It provided me benefits as it
Did it
provided
help
me.
you heal your knee as well?
Yeah, it
Swimming works wonders for every part of the body.
Is it like 100% now because of swimming?
for me, swimming is the best sport in the world. It provides benefits to your cardiovascular system, your heart, your lungs. It works all the muscles around you. And basically healed up my knee. Like it strengthened the muscles around my knee. And I started 1 year after the injury. I started competing in competitions, and my highest point is when I think I got third nationally in 2 categories, under 18 in 50 meters fly and 50 meters freestyle.
MashaAllah.
Population of the UAE is about
And
8 million.
9 million.
not
8
only
million.
that, not only that,
And you
even
were
after
third.
not only that, even after high school, when I went into university, I managed to get into the university swimming team, but it came in the wrong time. It's when the pandemic happened. But inshallah, when I go back to university in the summer, I'll resume training in swimming.
Inshallah. And hopefully things will be back like close to normal by that point.
Yeah, man.
Inshallah, you know. They're lifting restrictions. So actually, we're going back in the right time.
So our trip was actually right on schedule. Who predicted everything? Sorry, just one. Who was it? Oh yeah, it was me. It was me. Predicted it down to the day. If you watched that episode with Parth, I said it was released the day that lockdown was announced, and I said on that episode, lockdown will be announced by the time this podcast is out. I was precise to the day. To this day, I was precise. So don't chat to me about my predictions, because my predict nothing, man.
You took the spotlight from Jawad there after he told you he finished third in swimming in the UAE. And he was like, Kobe, look at me, I predicted correctly.
He has to steal the spotlight, man. He has to steal the spotlight.
It's nice, yeah, third is third, but have you ever successfully predicted a very predictable series of events?
Even if it's national, right?
Who cares about national, bro?
Anybody
No,
can
but-
swim, bro. You know, I would be like those Iraqi uncles. When I was a young kid, they used to throw me in the river. Then I found my way.
I mean, bro, Hussein may be the best in drowning, maybe.
I'll
swimming,
take the cake there.
You know?
But
Jawad,
you
are you trying to
Jawad-
challenge Hussein for his title of best lame jokes?
Jawad, the thing about you're actually a lot like me in the fact that you are an adaptable athlete. You can go into any sport and then eventually dominate at that sport just because you have such a naturally athletic body. Your coordination is just naturally so high that whenever you enter a sport, you just pick it up so quick and you learn all the technique and the specifics and everything. Like, you're very good at football, you're very good at basketball, you're excellent at swimming, and now you're looking into going into boxing, I
Yep.
believe.
Yeah.
So what made you think of going into boxing now?
Basically you. I've seen you box, and I as a child I also did kickboxing.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go back into that route. When I sparred you a few times, even though you knocked me twice, by the way, I don't know. I just fell in love with the sport and the passion it holds and the heart you put into it as
Yeah.
well. You know.
You kind of realize that getting hit doesn't hurt.
No, not really.
It doesn't hurt.
No.
But yeah, it's just like I think you'll in time excel as well. Obviously, I'm gonna set you a challenge right now. Obviously, I'm a little bit incapacitated at the moment. I've been injured yet again, so I'm not gonna be doing any boxing for a little while. If you're gonna get into boxing soon, I set you a challenge that by the time I'm recovered and able to box again, we're gonna have another spar and we'll see how that goes.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a first round KO from me, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Okay. If betting was halal, I would put money on this right now. But yeah, no, that's your challenge now.
You feel like you can catch up to Hussein in the time that he's recovering from injury.
Honestly,
Definitely,
depends.
bro, definitely.
It depends how long it
Definitely.
takes. If it
I
takes
put
me
my
2
heart
years,
and
then yeah.
passion into it, definitely.
Okay, I have another question for you. If you catch Hussein in the street, like no boxing gloves, nothing, who's winning? Without injury.
Oh,
No boxing gloves.
bare knuckle basically.
Bare knuckle kicking, pulling, whatever, like everything legal. Except like obviously you're not gonna hit him in the, you know.
Well, tough question, man. Tough
Who's
question.
winning that?
Well,
Hussein,
give me your
who do you
opinion,
think is
Hussein.
winning
Give me
that?
your opinion.
My opinion?
Yeah.
Well, doesn't matter what my opinion is. I want your opinion.
I'll probably hug him, but I can't hit the guy.
No, like pretend like I'm like
Alright,
Haywan.
He insulted your family name. He
I would
insulted
never,
your
but
country. Something crazy.
Probably a tie, bro. It's probably a knockout from both of us.
You know, one of those anime ones where you both.
Yeah,
punch
exactly.
each other.
Yeah.
And you
No.
both go. But yeah. Anyways.
Jawad's a tough guy. I've seen Jawad fight. Jawad's a pretty tough guy.
Yeah.
I just need the technique, bro. That's all.
Yeah, for sure.
No. So Jawad, your big sport, I think the one that you pride yourself in the most is definitely swimming. You joined the
I just
swimming.
want to speak about something. When you mentioned about being a multi-athlete, right? You're good at football, basketball, swimming. There's a lot of benefits to this, but I would say the disadvantages overtake the advantages, in my opinion.
Why? I disagree, but I want to hear yours first.
In my opinion, it's good to take one route. You're focused on when you're doing multiple sports at the same time. For example, you're never gonna dominate in that one sport. For example, you know, I took the swimming route. For example, I quit football. I quit basketball. I left kickboxing and everything. And when I stayed in swimming, the amount of accomplishments and benefits it gave me. I'm saying when you have more time to focus on one thing, you'll get more than you ask, if that makes sense.
But don't you also feel like it depends on how, like, to what level you take that sport? Because if you focus on swimming, does that mean like you were focused on swimming and playing basketball with us in the neighborhood?
Yeah, but when I say swimming, I mean in a competitive level.
So have you ever played any other sport at like competitive so-called level, or is it just swimming? Because for us, like a lot of the sports that we play, like we just play in the street.
In basketball, I played, for example, with the high school team. In football, I played with the school team. But with swimming, I swam at a national level. I swam at several competitions at a national level.
I
I also swam internationally.
So what I'm saying is like nothing came close to even your swimming like level, like high school team versus like national, international.
Yeah, for sure. The comparison is like there's no comparison there.
So do you find that you reached those heights in swimming when you were not doing anything else?
Yes.
Even on like street ball level?
Yes, because I was all of my focus, all of my main focus, my energy and training was just for swimming.
But let me give you another example. Let's talk about the highest level of athleticism. LeBron James. Before he was drafted into the NBA, he had the option of going to the NFL because he was that good at American football as well. He decided if he wants to go NFL or NBA. Deontay Wilder, one of the best boxers in the world, could have gone to the NBA, decided to be a boxer.
He could have been an NBA?
That's what he said. I don't know if it's true, but like
NBA
he said,
or NFL?
NBA. Like he said, he was like a great basketball or wherever. and he decided to be a boxer instead, something like that. But like, point is like, if you here's the thing, it all depends on.
Yeah, you're right about these points, but these athletes are adaptable to any sport. You have a point there, but
So are we.
but they chose, for example, Deontay Wilder chose to go into boxing alone,
Yeah.
right? He focused on boxing alone,
Yeah,
right?
obviously you have to get to a point.
The guy
where you
became a
choose
world
one.
heavyweight champion. you
For
know?
sure, for sure. You have to get to a point where you choose one. But the good thing about being multi-talented is that you get that choice. For example, I have a friend who actually Josh is very good at swimming. He could have like taken swimming like extremely seriously, right? Speak of the devil, Josh just texted me as I said his name. That's crazy. But yeah, so he like wasn't like he was okay at football. He was not great. I'm sorry, Josh, like you weren't. But he like because of that, all he could do was go into swimming. That's why. But like he didn't have that choice of maybe I want to do football, maybe I want to do basketball. Whereas you and me, we could like you could have done swimming if you wanted to do basketball instead. You could have done basketball if you wanted to do football instead. You could have done that. Equally with me, I could have like. It gives you a baseline where you can select what you want
So
to
it's basically good in the short run, just not the long run.
No.
It gives you a choice in the long run.
Yeah, but you know what? There's like so many things. I'll give you an example.
Wait, can I say like all these guys also they you have to also talk about with them, they got to do many until they reach the professional level. None of us, like as much as Jawad you've reached so much, none of us are in a professional level at any sport, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Like you have seen so many examples of successful athletes. They go into a sport or whatever at a professional level, but up to the point, let's say they get drafted in the NBA or they sign with a football club or they take their first professional fight in boxing or whatever, they're doing like 3-4 different things. And then one day enter professionally, then they choose and go on and become successful in that sport. So I think we still have that room to
Who knows? But I wanted to ask you about something that I've still not figured this out, but you seem to have it a lot more figured out than me. Is balancing that life of, so obviously we're all uni students, balancing that life between being an athlete and a student. Me, for example, I'm not the most academically inclined. I've had to train myself over the years to work hard in studying, whereas like with sports, I never trained myself to work hard. I just work hard because I love it, you know? So because of that, like I'd always like, especially in high school, I would excel in my sports and my grades were just low. Like I wasn't failing anything, but like I wasn't excelling, you know? Whereas you always, we used to hang out and play basketball. Like I'd come home, go to the basketball court, Jawad's there, and be like, yeah, I got a 95 in my psychology. I got a, like, you know, like, mashallah, like, I'm not trying to, like, envy you or be jealous or whatever. Like, I just want to know, how did you get to that level of balance to get all these 90s and 95s and still compete in swimming and get third in the country? How'd you do that?
So first of all, I want to thank my dad for that, because he told me that you have 24 hours a day. So take advantage of that time, yeah?
Why are you laughing? Why is that funny?
I'm sorry, Jawad. I'm so sorry.
Really should.
You know, so by the time of recording this podcast is when that Love Island girl, she just came out and said, what did she say?
We all have the same 24 hours in the day.
She's
If you're
talking
not
to a
rich, you're
homeless
not working
person or
hard enough.
something?
No, she's doing an interview.
Yeah.
And she was like if you're poor, it's because you're not working hard enough. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. I use mine better than poor people. So, like something like
Basically,
that.
yeah, I had a very privileged comment, and like, I'm sorry, it had nothing to do with what you were saying. It just reminded me of it very, very much. Anyway, continue.
So yeah, my dad told me you have 24 hours a day, so take advantage of that time, yeah? For example, you got 8 hours of sleeping, yeah? That's, you have 2 hours of studying, and you have, I don't know, it depends from person to person, right? So you have, for me, it's like 2 to 3 hours of studying, and then 1 to 2 hours of training, yeah? I would split my schedule throughout the day and have breaks in between. I would usually go on the calendar. I don't basically do my to-do list. What time should I sleep? What time should I wake up? What time should I study? What days should I train? What day should I take rest? So, and I would usually print these schedules and just put them on the wall. So in other words, you got 24 hours a day. Use that to your advantage, and yeah, basically
But
life will be easy.
What do you do on days like we all have days where we're just lazy? We don't. I today, I had to go to the doctor, so like I had no option. But I woke up and I was like, shit, I don't want to get up. Like I just
So
I just wanna stay in
procrastination,
bed.
basically.
Yeah. No, but
Procrastination.
like not procrastination, because procrastination you can fight through. But what about those days where you're just like, I
just
want
wanna
to be in
sit.
bed all day and I don't care, and like like what do you do then?
It's for me. It's just the mindset, man.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to reach that goal, then I have to put blood and sweat into it. I have to work hard. It's basically just a positive mindset. Once you put that mindset in action, everything just comes through.
Like nothing in life comes easy. If it's easy, then it's not happening. Like
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
why
I
the difference
respect
between people that are successful and people that are unsuccessful or don't reach their full potential is that people have goals.
Mm-hmm.
When these goals will motivate that person to work as hard as possible.
I don't know, man. I feel very optimistic for you. You have like, especially in our generation, you have exactly the mindset you need to have. You're doing everything that you need to be doing. You're doing it all right, alhamdulillah. I feel like your future is gonna be so bright, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So,
It's already bright enough, like for the way that you've already accomplished what you've reached already, like it's already crazy. So inshallah we only pray for more success for that. But I think, your management between your like student obligations and then your athletic whatever, like your sports undertakings too, like you've split that time quite nicely.
it helps you build skills for time management, not only also after you graduate from school. You can balance between work life and athletic life, right? That's possible, So it's basically for the long term.
Fair
It gives you
enough.
time management skills, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
Here's my question, right? So, as somebody who's like a very close friend of yours, and like, I know that sometimes, not that much, but sometimes you've had moments of, like pressure from your parents, where you just like I have a lot of pressure on my head right now. I need to perform.
قرب على الميكروفون.
Huh?
قرب على الميكروفون.
I have a lot of pressure from my parents right now. I really need to perform. I need to make them proud. I need to make them happy. And like, you felt the pressure.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
it help you or hurt you? Did it make you work harder? Did you sometimes feel like?
What was the environment like as well?
I mean, yeah, like every other parent.
I like every Arab parent. Like, it's not a bad thing. It just happens,
They want the best from their
100%.
sons or daughters,
Yeah.
Yeah, there were moments where I wanted to give up, but at the same time, what I was thinking is that this is the best for me. I will take that pressure, I'll take that fear of failure and turn it into something positive.
How do you do that? So what's your thought process going there? Because a lot of people, they just get stuck in that fear of failure section of it.
Like I said, I have goals to work to. I have goals built up for me. I always work towards these goals. These goals alone will help me work through this what they call it, challenge, for example, or this pressure. It's not just a thought process. In my opinion, if you just have a positive mindset, if you keep that mindset intact, no matter what comes to you, what challenge is thrown at you, you will always go through.
I feel like people who know me will know that like I'm a big like advocate for mindsets and mentalities and how you think and whatever. So like when you say this, like I relate so much because it's so true what your thought process can do to change your life. Like I'll give you an example. So I got COVID last week, and the first thing I told myself when I got COVID is, don't cry over spilt milk. Now you have 10 days in a room. Make use of them. Like, have fun. I played PlayStation. I did my classes. I got my work done. I still exercise even if I was in my room. But I know for a fact if I was like, oh, man, I got COVID. This is so annoying. Like, oh, I hate this. I would have done nothing. I would have been in bed all day just moaning and crying. And, like, end of the day, oh, bro, you know what? I'm going to be... I saw this thing on Instagram. And it's like, it's slowly changing my life. And it was like, if you get bad news, set a timer. 5 minutes. Cry. Throw shit at the wall. Scream. moan, blame, whatever you want to do. You have 5 minutes to be as depressed as you want to be. When that timer goes off, it's time to accept, khalas, what happened. Now how do I get myself out of the situation? You know? I fell in love with that like thought process. Because at the end of the day, you're a human. You're not gonna block out feelings of depression, of being upset, of being angry at something that's happened. You can't stop that, it's gonna happen. But you can control it. You can control it and make it push you to be better. You can make it push you to strive, you know.
I think just to add to that as well,
Yeah.
like for your actions, so even if you're going through something or an event that's gonna put you like your emotional capacity lower, to where, for example, you might be affected by it emotionally, or you might be, you know, in some like hurt in some way. That doesn't mean like you can create a separation between your feelings and your actions. Like there is something in your heart that you can tap into where you can power through your daily tasks, you can power through what you need to get through, and still give yourself time to feel what you need to feel in an emotional level too. So those two things don't have to be one and the same. And Jawad, I wanna cause I want you to build on that conversation.
There's just a point I want to add.
Yeah.
You mentioned something about in the environment, right? You have to be surrounded by people that support you. By the way, you have to be surrounded by people that have a positive mindset. For example, the reason I started sports is because of my grandfather, who sadly passed away because of
Allah yarhamu.
COVID.
Allah
My grandfather was he was the most athletic guy in the family. This guy was a weightlifting champion, basically.
MashaAllah.
So back in his day, it was a very hard lifestyle compared to ours today. You know, my grandfather was a Palestinian refugee living in Lebanon. There was basically zero opportunities for him. But despite the environment, he managed to become a national champion in Lebanon. He was recognized around the neighborhood for his athletic accomplishments. He wasn't only like a good weightlifting champion. He used to go for runs in the morning. He used to swim every day like me. And also, for example, my dad played a huge role in giving me a boost in my confidence. He lived in an environment that was harder than ours as well. He studied in Pakistan, by the way. He studied in Pakistan.
Yeah.
Imagine studying.
What's wrong with Pakistan?
Huh?
What's wrong with Pakistan?
No, it was just a tough environment back then. My dad had to learn the language because he was Arab, you know. He's a foreigner.
Speaks Urdu?
He used to speak
No
Urdu, yes.
way.
He did.
Like full.
Tell him.
My dad studied for 8 years. He got the bachelor's and he got the master's.
In Pakistan?
Yes, in Pakistan.
So your dad probably speaks fluent Urdu.
Tell him. Actually, hey, for all my
I mean,
Urdu
yeah,
speaking family, मैं जा रहा हूँ दरवाजा खोलने के लिए.
Whatever that is.
But yeah,
I'm gonna go
continue.
jump off a cliff.
So he studied his masters as well in Pakistan. That's actually crazy. That's so uncommon as well for like people from our backgrounds as well to be studying in like.
Leave our backgrounds. I haven't I've heard, even like Pakistani people, of like maybe 100 Pakistani people I know, I've only heard of 2 going back to study in Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
Like not to say there's anything wrong with it. It's just like
It's not very common. Yeah.
like it's unheard. It's like back in the days, one of our uncles went to work in Libya.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the days, like I've never, we don't have exposure
Which
to Khalasam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just never had exposure to like
Leave and go that far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So back to the point.
it was like stop stealing the
لا
conversation.
لا عادي عادي ما فيها شيء. So back to the point. We are blessed compared to the previous generation.
Mm-hmm.
We are blessed. So we have way more opportunities compared to the last generation. We have the internet, for example. We have
Even stability in your life.
yeah, exactly. We have a roof over our head. We have education, you know, and we're not even paying for the education. My dad had to work like several part-time jobs just to fuel his education.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, besides
yeah, it's good. You know what? There's a lot of people that are like, they come up and like they're successful and whatever, but they came like from backgrounds like ours.
yeah.
And they love to push the narrative of like, oh, I came from nothing. I worked so hard to get where. But like, let's be realistic. Like we didn't come from nothing. Okay, we're not like, oh, mansion rich. Well, but alhamdulillah, like our parents have worked really hard to put us in a good position.
Okay, so there's another way to think about it. I think it's more helpful than that, because then that thought process, I think, is good for you to recognize the level of privilege that you have in comparison to the world, which is really good. But another thing also to remember, Hussein, if you have a roof over your head, if you have running water, and if you know where your next meal is coming from, you're already in a more of a position of privilege than 70% of people that live on this earth.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
You understand?
That's what I'm saying.
Like all of us, as much as not to discredit anybody's challenges, not to discredit anybody's struggles, what you went through, but there is something about to be said about recognizing your privilege in life, whether that be based on race, whether that be based on income, whether that be based on type of family. Some of us only grew up with like a mother or a father. Some of us, very few, like not very few, but a lot of us are privileged to have both. A lot of us are privileged to have a lot of the things that we have. So recognizing that, like, not that shouldn't tell you that your struggles are, oh, I came from the bottom. No, like you might not have come. We never came from the bottom, but we had very real problems and struggles and issues. As did you. As did the listener. Every listener, whether you're like the rich kid's son, and money came easy, whether you had to hustle for everything. Everybody's struggle is different, and maybe he didn't struggle financially, but he struggled in another way. You know what I mean? So like I don't want to put that on, like, because that also for me, what it, like that mindset did for me sometimes is just really being like, oh, somebody has it worse, so I can't be sad. That made me realize, like, oh, if somebody has it better, then I can't be happy either. Like, you know what I mean?
That's true. That's fair. That's very fair, to be honest.
So basically, take advantage of the opportunity you have today.
That's the
Take
one.
advantage of the opportunity you have today. Yeah,
Well, you said something about your support system. It's very important to have a good support system.
yeah.
How do you feel your support system is, and are you satisfied with it?
I'm clearly satisfied. My dad is financing I wish I was financing my own college and sports journey. My dad basically I forgot everything. شو اسمه?
Take a second if you need it.
What I'm saying is that my dad supports me 100% in what I'm doing. He gave me his full support. He's financing everything, alhamdulillah. And hopefully one day I'll pay him back.
Inshallah.
And he always gave me helpful advice on how to, for example, he gave me how to organize my schedule. If there's whatever challenge it is, he's my dad. He probably went through that experience. He gave me helpful life advice that I could inshallah give to my kids one day.
Would you say he's your biggest role model, your dad?
Or I think your dad and your grandpa.
My dad and my grandfather.
I think
They both played. My dad mostly in I would say in academics, and also sports. But when it comes to sports, my grandfather, growing up, seeing him a national champion, just I was like, I want to be like this guy, So, yeah.
I think also something to be said, like as much as we talk about how amazing your accomplishments are for the sports and how good what you did is and how you're on a path and you have your goals in life that you want to achieve and everything, like the reason you're able to do that is your support system has showed up for you time and time again, right?
Yes, that's
as
true.
much as there was pressure, sometimes I think pressure is healthy, right? Sometimes I think it's
Sometimes you need a bit of pressure to push yourself.
You need to feel a bit uncomfortable,
Yeah.
right? But it's all thanks to you had a safe space you can go back to at the end of the day and be like, I can be myself between you people, like your family,
Yeah,
your
that's
father,
true.
your mother. Show your mother some love too, bro. Like you're talking about your dad and your grandpa. Shout out your mom too. Like
No, my mom is there for like the hardest times. My lowest lows. يعني she's been there, man. She's been like she's been my يعني how can I say this? My heart and يعني
Your rock.
yeah, my heart and my rock. يعني she whenever I'm down, she's there. She's there.
I think when we talk about privilege, aside, leave money, leave status, whatever. This might be one of the biggest pieces of privilege that we all have. Is a healthy support system more than anything. Right?
Bro, not only a healthy support system, a mother that she'll kill herself 100 times for you. And my mother too. I don't even need to think about
That's the greatest gift, man. That's the greatest gift.
Bro, I will never stop being blessed. You think about those families that I have friends that are like, oh, I don't really speak to my mother. Me and my mother aren't close. Imagine not being close to your mother. Like, not to like discredit anyone else, but like the fact that like, bro, I go to sleep every day knowing that my mom has nothing but everything, like best interest at heart for me. She wakes up every day thinking, how can my son have a better life? You know,
Yeah.
imagine having somebody that just thinks every day like that about you. You know, shout out mama.
Shout out all the mothers in the world too. Like,
Honestly, the greatest gift in like that anyone could ask for, you know.
You know what? I saw this again on Instagram.
It's a privilege in itself because some people unfortunately don't have a mother growing up, you know.
yeah, and like a mother or like both parents or a supportive household
Yeah.
where they can be themselves. Even, do you remember when we talked in the second episode with Khalid? And Khalid came on here and he talked about how he was dealing with anti-black racism in the Arab community. And then we asked him what was the main reason that gave him willpower, I think, or something like that. And he told us, he was like, he came home, he felt like he could be himself. He had a very nice support system around him that pushed him. That's a big privilege that we all have, like in life,
100%.
you know?
100%.
But yeah, so
So besides family, there's also friends for sure, you know.
100%.
Especially Hussein, me and Hussein over the years always supported each other's dreams, you know.
Actually, Jawad sent me a very, very kind message the other day. I'm not going to go into specifics. But, you know, like he sent me, I don't know, he said, basically I hurt my knee pretty badly and things weren't looking very good. And then he sent me this like really, really nice like motivational message that just like made me think. I'm always grateful to have somebody like you in my life.
Same goes to you,
know?
my friend, same goes.
And it's just having that like a friend in my life that I know like whatever that I'm going to go through, I feel like he's going through with me, you know? And like likewise for you, like whatever you're going through, like I feel like I'm like if you're hurt, I feel hurt, you know.
Yeah.
Having that kind of like relationship in your life is something like you should never take for granted, you know. So I'm very grateful, alhamdulillah, that I have somebody like you in my life as well.
No,
So what I basically told Hussein,
Tell
I
him.
told him, bro, is to take that negative impact into your life and turn it into something positive. Yeah, see it as a change in yourself. Yeah, see it as a positive change in yourself. See it as a recovery process. You know, to discover your true self again. You know.
Yeah.
Bro, when I first got my, I probably wouldn't be in swimming without my ACL injury. I don't want to say I'm thankful that it happened, but it was a turning point in my life in which.
You can be thankful to have. I'm thankful for mine. You can be thankful. Like
yeah, you can.
I'm also learning slowly to be more thankful for the bad things that happened to me.
You know, without this ACL injury, I probably wouldn't get these accomplishments I got in swimming.
Exactly.
Yeah, we talked a lot about support systems. So I want to ask you guys, like, let's say, for example, I know maybe you guys don't have much personal experience with this, but let's say, for example, if you have, like, there's people out there that they don't have a family or a default support system that they're kind of born into, right? How do you create a healthy support system with friends and stuff, and through non-family relationships, like people who don't have to, who they don't have no obligation to be there for you, like in terms of parents or anything like that? How do you create a support system around that, in your opinion, and how does that differ from your household?
I mean, you can always find friends with common interests, for example, you know.
Bro, you need to learn one thing. Family isn't just blood. Like my family, like that makes it sound like I hate my family. Like my family is like, wallahi, there's not another family in the world I'd rather be a part of. Alhamdulillah, I love my family to bits. But I have people in my life, such as Jawad. I have no blood relation to him, but I view him as my little brother, you know, like that's
Same
just
goes to you, man. Same goes to you.
you. Sometimes if things in your family aren't going so well, you just maybe take a look outside and see who's that somebody or those people who have always picked you up when you fell.
Who's there when you're low?
Yes.
Who's like not who's there when you won the lottery.
This is when true friends show up. by the way.
Exactly.
This is when true friends show
It's
up.
not about who's there when you win the lottery. It's about
It's
who's,
not your highs, it's during your lows, man.
exactly.
It's the ones that pick you up. And yeah. خليني احكي يا زلمة.
Sorry يا زلمة احكي.
So like I
بس
said.
قل له ليش ما shout at him more, tell him.
So خليني اقول لك. يعني شو خلاص. Okay, Zaid, the more mature
When
one.
you turned your chair, I was like, okay, something's happening, and then you backed out of it. I don't know why.
I threw the staple at him.
Really?
It was like a tiny staple. But yeah, continue.
So to the more mature
What a support
kashif.
system.
To the more mature
kashif, yeah.
Talk to me.
So,
Let's have a
like you said, you have to build a foundation of your support system, right? Bro, before I was a shy guy, I was a shy kid back then, but I loved sports, for example. I loved the basketball, I loved football as a kid. I would always try to find common interests that I have with the other people, and from there, yeah, are we gonna take this seriously or no, man? Come
Wallahi,
on.
we're being serious. I just saw him
Wallah,
laughing.
no, Wallah, he was laughing. We have tape. Wallah, he was laughing.
Wallah, I'm sorry. Wallah.
I'm sorry.
Please keep this in. Wallah, everything you're saying is serious. I don't know, he's making me laugh. Allah.
You made me laugh. I don't know.
Take 10 seconds to compose yourselves, guys. We're going straight back
Jawad,
into
I'm so
this. Is
sorry.
So you said we have to build a foundation for that support system, right? Back then, I was a shy kid, so I would barely talk to anyone. I'd always try to find common interests. For example, I loved basketball, I loved football, I loved Sporting Barcelona. Yeah, even they're better than Bayern for sure.
I thought you wanted to be serious.
No, I am.
I thought you wanted to be serious.
No, but
Yo, I have a friend who anytime like he's a Barcelona fan, he's super active on Twitter.
Yeah.
Right? This guy every time Barca plays, I don't watch Barca games, but I just see negative tweets like, oh, why is this club shit? Why is this club in the dirt? Why can nothing good ever happen to my club?
It's a shit club.
It's a garbage club. They went from Messi, Iniesta, Xavi to Depay, De Ligt,
De Jong.
and De Jong. De Ligt is Juventus, sorry. Depay, De Ligt, and what's the other guy? I don't even know their names, bro. Like, Barca's so lost. And
Regardless.
Braithwaite.
so yeah.
Regardless.
So I'm saying is that you have to find the common interests with other people. From there, you can just break the ice. You know, basically.
But how do you find trustworthy people then? Like, because a lot of people
Through
will ditch you in
time,
your lows,
unfortunately, man, this will take a lengthy process. You know, for example, if you're at your lowest, yeah, people who are the most dearest to you, the most trustworthy, yeah, they're gonna come and help you pick you up. This is when you can distinguish. These are my real friends. These are just fake friends.
So, do you support like? It kind of sounds stupid saying this, but like experimenting on your friends in a way. It's kind of a toxic thought, but let's say for example you pretend to be like in a bad situation and see who come through for you.
I mean,
If there's doubt.
I mean, it's better to discover things early than later, right?
Mhm.
So, I mean,
Like
there
if you're
is-
friends with someone for a short time and you want to see if this person's solid or no. Like
I
would
mean,
you do
if-
that?
I mean, if it's for your mental benefit, yeah, for sure, I would do it, but
Yeah?
to some extent, maybe.
Like you wouldn't say for example, guys, like I'm dying, but you might say I need money, or you might say
No, if I
But
ask
you
maybe for a
know,
simple favor,
Thing is,
or I don't know, I never did it myself, but for me it was a lengthy process. Throughout my ups and downs, you know, Hussein was there for me. You were there for me. This is how I knew. You're like brothers to me. You know, you're like true friends to me. These are my true friends right there.
See, but this is the thing. Like with you, I don't feel like I need to do that because with you, I already like I had experience with you. I feel like I know you're solid. You know, so I don't need to like. I'm not talking about this kind of friendship. I'm talking about, let's say for example, I'm friends with somebody, and like okay, maybe I've been friends with them for a while, but I've just never been put in a situation where I need to know if they're solid or not.
but when you, bro,
Would you create a
when you
situation
think
where
like this, when you think like this, you're letting the devil win, because once you're letting somebody get in the way,
Disclaimer, like I've never done it, but I just
Yeah.
wanted to ask.
once you let something like this get in the way of a relationship you have with somebody, you lose, because one thing that I like I trust until trust, like I'll trust you until you lose it. You know, I'm not gonna wait see if you earn my trust. Like I'm not like if I meet like Ahmed from the street tomorrow, I'm not gonna go to Ahmed from the street and tell him, yo, like this is my deepest darkest secret.
Yeah, that's
no.
the point, Zaid.
But-
You know, it's very hard to tell based on first impression only.
Yeah, and
first
like you
impression,
don't go and tell somebody your secrets from the first day. But if like say again, like back to your example, you've been friends with someone for a while, bro. It like if you feel a closeness to that individual, I personally feel you should trust them to the extent that you feel you should. Like for example, like if I met Ahmed from the street, we became friends. Like 5 months later, I'm not gonna like if I need him to drive me to the hospital, if I need someone to drive me to the hospital, I'll call Ahmed from the street. I'll be like, yo, Ahmed from the street, can you come drive me to the hospital? See how like and it's not like I'm making that scenario as a test. I'm like, okay, now I need help. Is he gonna help me? You know? But if you create a
See,
scenario
but
like
no, but see, I feel you, but I haven't like, done this creating a scenario things. Like obviously, like I've heard about it. People talk about, oh, I want to make random Twitter posts and stuff like that. Oh, I want to make up a situation, see what people do for me. But I've been in like a position where like I'll need a small favor. It won't be a big favor. I might be like in a different province abroad or a different country, whatever, and I might need something from you, or not even something. I might need to like I might just need you to come through in a small way. And in that moment, like I'm a bit, like are you gonna help me or no? And maybe you don't have another option to turn. I've been burned like that before. Like okay,
but
something that you for you you'll feel like, oh, it's so small, I will give it without even thinking, but somebody will have a hard time even.
but then bro, when you again like you let
And that's
one
people
experience,
that I know though.
yeah, but you let 1-2 experiences like change how you think. You're generalizing an entire population of people because
No,
you're gonna
I'm not generalizing.
you're-
All I'm saying is, like, there has to be a better way of
No, but okay. Let me ask you a question. If somebody tested you like that and then you found out it's a test, aren't you gonna be offended? Because I would be offended.
I wouldn't.
I would 100. Because I'd be like, look, you don't trust me enough to just
No,
put your
because
faith in
you're
me.
solid.
I mean, yeah. Hussein has
Because
a
you're
point there.
solid, and you'll be
That
offended
doesn't
because
matter.
you're solid.
That doesn't matter. I'm solid, but if he like, okay, you're testing somebody. You could be testing somebody who's solid, but you just don't know they're solid. And if you find out they are solid, and you're like, yo, I was testing you. Like, of course they're gonna get offended.
Yeah, exactly.
Of
I
course
don't,
they're gonna
I
get
don't know. It's never happened. I've never done it. It's never happened to me. But I like to think that if I was put in that situation, because I have trust issues myself, so I'd
me
be like,
ask you a
okay,
question.
now
Let me ask you a
Tell me.
series of questions. If I needed you to come through for me in a small way, and I'm not Hussein, I'm Ahmed from the street. If Ahmed from the street needed you to come through in a small way, are you coming through?
like how small is a small way? Give me an
Like,
example.
bro, I need you to send me $150 like right now, and I'll pay you back in a week.
Like, do I have worry that he's gonna run off with it, or do I know he's gonna pay me back?
Like, he's Ahmed from the street. You've been friends for 5 months. Like, you have no reason to believe that he's gonna run away with it.
We have mutual friends.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, then yeah.
And so if you didn't have mutual friends, you wouldn't give him the money.
I would think about it. I'd have to evaluate
Okay.
the situation.
Now let me ask you a question. Do you think there are people in this world that are better than you?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so if you know you're a good person, even with your trust issues,
I don't even know I'm a good person. But
I know you're a good person. Even with all these trust issues of yours, you would still help. And if you know for a fact that there are people on this planet that are better than you, so why would you look at the people that could be potentially worse? That's like saying just like what you mentioned earlier of if I think I shouldn't be sad because people are sadder than me, then
it's
I
a
won't be happy because
survivalist
people are-
mentality in a way. Where you
No,
have
but it's
to-
a glass half empty way of thinking.
Jawad, what do you think?
Bro, like I said before, it's a lengthy process. That's my opinion. If you want to find that person is trustworthy or not,
There's no shortcut.
there's no shortcut. It's a lengthy process. يعني, whenever there's hardships, this is when your true friends will show up.
You can't make a hardship.
This
You
is
gotta wait
how
for
I
it to
started.
come.
This is how I started to like fully trust Hussein over time. You know, my trust is a lengthy process. By the way, when you give someone your trust, you're giving them. I can depend on them. I can depend on them when I'm down. You know, you know. It's a very lengthy process. It's not something you can just experiment. For example,
And
like
I think-
Hussein said, for example, if I experimented that person. I would be offended, by the way. I would be offended myself. You're playing with my trust.
Exactly.
You know, it's a lengthy process.
I wouldn't, like, personally, alhamdulillah, I have never had to be put in a situation where I had to do that because the people I grew up with are all solid. Every single one of them, like the close knit guys the group that we have, they're all solid. So I never felt like, I always felt like no matter who did what to me outside that, there was that base
You know,
for me.
you're.
But-
I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's okay, let me just finish
Yeah,
that.
yeah, sorry.
But I'm open to the idea. Just off the fact that I know myself having, like, my trust issues is a bit weird too. Like, inside my circle, like, I don't care. I'll tell anybody anything, you know? But outside the circle, like, yeah, now there's issues. Now I'm confused. Now I'm thinking twice before I talk to somebody. So I have that mindset, so I sympathize more with somebody who's a bit scared, who just wants to make 100% sure. So I'm not saying I'm advocating for it. I'm just saying I sympathize with it.
Fair enough. That's fair. That's
You know.
fair.
So yeah, you made me remind of a quote, by the way, and this
I made you
made
remind of a
remind?
quote.
made me. Oh my God, my English is.
Do you ever
so
get it when
bad.
you just remind?
So you
I remind all the
reminded me
time,
of a
bro.
quote. Reminded me of a quote. Okay. And this is the
Are
problem
you-
with this generation today, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's quality over quantity all the time, my friend. It's quality over quantity. It's better to have a small group of friends that you can trust than a large number of fake people that
You
are,
know what drives that?
what drives that.
Social media.
Yes, exactly.
You know how
yes.
many people put on their like on their story, on Instagram story, please like my post.
Yeah, exactly.
On Instagram.
People that are desperate for followers or. Yeah.
Bro, no, like if let's say for example if I come off somebody's post on Instagram, I like it or I don't like it, I'm not checking the likes for that person. Oh, that person has 100 plus likes or 200 plus likes. Yeah, certified popular. I rate this person because they have that many likes or whatever. No, like I don't know whose mind works like that, but people need to understand that like you're the one who's checking for your post the most with likes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No one's checking for your post like you are. So like that mindset made it all about numbers. How many friends do I have? How many people can I make plans with? How many people can I go out with? Who's like, you know,
Yeah,
if
there
I
are
go
people
to
that are just there for your benefits,
bro, there's
instead of quality friendship,
you
instead
know
of quality trust,
the shout out Bilal. Bilal gave me a very good quote. You guys remember Bilal has a lasting impact on all of us, bro. Like shout out to you, bro, Bilal.
100%.
But Bilal is a friend of ours in Canada. He was on a previous episode, right? I don't know if you've seen that episode, but he gave me a quote like way back off camera. I was dealing with something. He told me he was like, "No, it wasn't Bilal. It was Parth. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Bilal.
Shout out Bilal.
Remove
too.
the shout. No, remove the shout out for Bilal. Unshout out.
Shout out Parth. Parth told me this. He was like, there are certain people are gonna come into your life for a season, for a reason, or for a lifetime. Some people are there for you. You go out with, you have fun, you enjoy yourself. You know, like it's just vibes. You just sit, you have a nice, funny conversation. You laugh with them, but they're not checking for you if you're. They're just laughing friends, like visiting friends.
Exactly, yeah.
Some people are there for a reason, whether that is like a friend of yours who came in your life for a certain amount of time, taught you a lesson either by their positive impact or their negative impact, but you learned something from it. So now you learn, for example, this person betrayed my trust, so now I know not to do this or that. Or this person was so good for me that they taught me XYZ about life. Whether that's a friend, whether that's a significant other that enters your life and leaves it. Like some people are there for a reason, but they're just there and then they leave, but they give an impact while they're there. And some people are there for a lifetime. That's the people you should be checking for.
Exactly,
Some people are there no matter what happens today, he'll slap you in the face. Tomorrow, you'll slap him in the face. Like, fight, whatever. You might go off, bang your head against the wall for a month, and then they come back. Like, some people are there for a lifetime for you, and those people are the ones you should be checking for. If somebody doesn't fit that bill for you, I think then you evaluate the level of trust. Think to yourself, like, can I see myself being friends with this person 10, 15 years from now? I'm working. I'm an old man. I got a wife. I got kids.
I see my kids being friends with your kids.
Inshallah,
Yeah.
man.
Inshallah.
For sure that will happen,
Yeah.
for sure. So, what I basically want to say is that it's always important to have a good, supportive system around you, yeah? Whether that be friends that turn into brothers, for example, family members that give you 100% of their support, and you have to always be goal-oriented, okay? You always have to strive for that goal that you put for yourself. All right. That's basically what I just wanted to say. So, honestly, it's been an honor to be on this podcast.
Habibi.
With,
For sure.
pleasure
It was an honor having you on, and we're so happy to have brought you on this podcast with us. I feel like
fist bump myself.
we gave a lot of perspectives today, and you gave us a lot to talk about and think about, and we're so happy to have brought you on. Is there anyone, Jawad, that you want to shout out? Anyone you want to big up? Shout out obviously
honestly,
to your...
my grandfather. Honestly, he's the one who started all for me. He's my role model. I wish he was here today to see the accomplishments I've done. I hope he's up there watching. Honestly, that's.
And he is, bro.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. And may Allah give him the highest ranking in Jannah, inshallah, ya Rab. And also the same goes for our grandfather, Jiddifaq, Allah yarhamah. May God grant him the highest Jannah. He was also very sporty, we never even mentioned it. Give him I'll talk through it for a minute or so just now about Jidfaq basically. But my grandfather founded a Najaf Sporting Club, like the volleyball team in it. He refereed volleyball. He also, I think you take a lot from him in that academically, you know, maybe like your path wasn't oriented towards academic. His path was very focused on sports. He was a sports teacher. He was a referee. He was a director of a sports program. He did a lot for his community, even for sports. Like even on his funeral day, the whole community came out. People that like...
It was crazy the amount of people, man.
The amount of people that were at that funeral was like, they brought banners for him because he impacted so many people. He opened avenues for so many sports-minded people in Iraq at a time where there's no opportunities, you know, in that city. So big shout out to not shout out, but Allah yarham Jidfaq. We wish him like you know, the highest ranks of Jannah, inshallah, and we're very, very proud to call him our grandfather. I don't know, like, I just wanted to mention that because, you know, we, like, it relates to the theme of the episode too, like, with sports and stuff, and I just never spoke on it, like, on the podcast, you know?
I apologize, but there's also another family member I would like to give a shout out.
Shout out
Shout
to everyone,
everybody,
man.
your whole family.
So I have a cousin of mine. He was supposed to make it into the 2002 Australia Olympics.
MashaAllah.
And why didn't you? I'm joking.
Yeah, but in wrestling, by the way.
Mashallah.
But unfortunately, because he was Palestinian and because of political issues that happened back in Palestine, whole team was supposed to... Everyone competed in the Olympics, and wrestling was the last event, by the way. Unfortunately, every Palestinian competed except my...
It's okay.
Technical error.
sorry.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Unfortunately, because of political reasons, he had to withdraw. Yeah. So yeah, he's another guy I look up to as well.
You would have thought that if he's a good wrestler, he would have taught you how to fight. Why are you still... Why?
Are we setting up a pay-per-view? Jawad versus Hussein?
In 2 years.
This is the press conference.
In 2 years. A press conference for 2 years, yeah.
Now you do the face-off, the one where you just stand in front of each other.
But yeah, guys, thank you all
for listening.
for
Want to do the face-off just to end the episode?
Come stand up.
We'll do it as the thumbnail. So we do the thumbnail. You know how I say post for the thumbnail, this is now posing for the thumbnail. Do a face-off.
Come.
Yeah, I'll put like a microphone. Hold on. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, guys.
Can I give my shout outs?
Give your shout out.
Shout out Mush Mush. He paged me for not shouting him out on the last episode. Can I go?
Go.
Step away from your mic, I don't trust you. This guy was planning something, bro. But yeah, shout out Mush Mush. He paged me for not shouting him out last episode. He's like, oh, you shouted out one brother, where's the other brother? Da da da. So shout out Mush Mush. Shout out Mama Baba. Shout out the whole team.
Shout out My Meal Diary.
Shout out My Meal Diary. Make sure you download that. You know, QR code.
If you don't download it, you're gonna have bad luck for 25 years.
I'm telling you,
I'm telling you from now.
I've seen the account. It has a lot of nutritional facts, information about diet as well, right?
Yeah.
And certain food items.
It does like recommendations, so when you open a food, like it tells you, oh, this food is good for keto, or it's good for this, or it's bad for that, or your blood, or it's low sugar. Like you know, it tells you basically, really helps you see what's a good food, what's a bad food, just off of looking immediately as well. You know, it's a very, very nice app. 100%. You know, get that.
But yeah, that being said, guys, thank you all so much. Goodbye from the Young Nations podcast. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks, 1 week, whatever we decide that the upload schedule is by the time this comes out. But we'll see you soon, inshallah.
Once every 2 weeks.
Once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Once every 2 weeks. Khalas, yalla.
Oh, but wait, before we go, I never plug like this, but I need people to know. If you've made it this far, like, it makes a big difference. Press like, share this with your friends, leave us a review on Apple Podcast, like engage with the material as much as possible. It makes a massive difference to us, you know, like, and we really, really appreciate it. So let us, like, you know, if you're supporting, show your support, show it on the comments, and we appreciate that. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching, tuning in. This is With 3 Deep Waters, the Young Nations podcast. Yeah.